Alright, I found myself before going a little bit further than I wanted to into certain matters regarding my first wife, Carolyn. So I'm going to backstep here and retrack over my life again and go over some things. I've made some notes. Let's see. Just in case I might have missed anything that I should include about my life up to the age of 20 that really had an impact on my life, about what kind of person I am, and what kind of person has their children taken away from them. Forcefully taken away from them. And people blatantly lying and breaking doing things illegally to force a person's child and to break up a family relationship, sacred family relationship established at the very beginning of time. A man and a woman come together and have children, and it is a family. It's not a part of government, it's a family. Okay. And I have been judged by standards that very, very, very few people are judged by. So just what kind of person am I? What was my past like? How did I develop in life that I became such a person that it was necessary that I could not have children around me, okay? I could around me. Any other children I could have around me, but my own children I could not have. I could not. Okay. All right, let's not get into that yet. Okay. That's about me. Up to about the age of 20, I want to go back over some things, some bad things I did, maybe some relative things. Okay. In Corpus Christi, Texas, I mentioned the job and started my own business. Well, I didn't just quit my job and start my own business just like that, exactly. The guy that I worked for, Mark Robin, not Mark Smith. Okay. Anyway, after I quit, in order to make a living, I mowed quite a few yards. Also, shoremen, deep down the hulls of ships, Corpus Christi, Texas. Taking grain off the pallets and stacking them inside the ship, stacking bales of hay on the not bales of hay, bales of cotton on the ship. I remember one pallet coming down into the ship. It was, of course, it was a pallet of grain, because cotton doesn't. I think it did come down on a pallet. Yeah, I guess so. No, it came down 2 or 3 bundles. Anyway, I was a gringo, and everybody knew that. Anyway, and one of the guys says, "Go get that pallet and pull it in." And I go like, not me. I'm not going for that. Not till it gets down low. Just a second later, something snapped and that pallet came crashing down. If I would have listened to them, I might be dead now, or seriously injured. Anyway, one of the brothers from the church helped me get that job as a longshoreman. Also, I should mention that a brother up in Michigan helped me get the engineering job from the Carnegie that I worked in. My boss there was Bob Vess. Okay. I had to find that opportunity on my own, which was a great opportunity. It was offered a chance for further my education and advancement, and I was going to get. And the only problem is I would have to have worked on Saturday, which Saturday is for my ministry, just ministry, and I was not comfortable with working Saturday and working overtime. So, and let's see. Yeah. Okay. That in the winter is real bad. You know, two of the reasons why I left Michigan. Left Michigan. Now, let's go back to my younger years. Some bad things. Walking home from school, elementary school. The orange groves all around us and oranges all over the place. I picked up a rotten orange and threw it at a car. And maybe two cars, I don't know. We hit one car anyway. Okay. When I was in the foster home, I tried to save a baby bird I found. Put in a shoebox to feed it a little bit, but I think it died the very next day. Got a fight at Weirsdale Elementary School, Ocala National Forest area. Remember anything about it? Got into a fight. Ended pretty quick, I think. Okay. 13. Took advantage of a shot playing snooker that I really didn't purposefully make. Okay. Occasionally found a couple dollars in my mother's wallet or purse. Okay, when I was 4, I went into a vacant house through a window and checked it out. Wasn't looking for anything, I was just kind of sensitive. I was on Walnut Street, Winter Haven, Florida. On Walnut Street, Florida, and we walked into a bowling alley that had caught on fire, and there was stuff all around. We found some cigarettes and we tried to smoke a couple of cigarettes. I coughed a lot on that. After a couple of puffs, in Haven, we had a horse, Saddle Creek, close to Lakeland, and I went horseback riding. Once I was and our family, went horseback riding a little bit. A few of us together, a couple of us together, a few times, and we just couldn't afford the horse anymore, so we gave up the horse name. Once I was riding the horse, and it started raining, and it started galloping back to the. And this was pretty dramatic because I was going all over, falling off the horse, trying to stay on the saddle. And this truck thing comes right up to us and it pulls me off the horse. That was pretty dramatic. I think that's the way that ended, is I got pulled off the horse into a car. And also, that's my first memory of driving a car, is at Saddle Creek. About 4 or 5 years old. Handled the steering wheel on my mother's lap, I think it was. Okay, moving back to Winter Haven from Ocala National. Michael and I rode our bicycles a lot, picking up bottles. Used to be able to take them to the store and get 2 cents, or then we collected the bottles, make some money. We also went grocery shopping for Mom, for her family and so forth. On our bicycles, we'd go to the store and return with balancing the bags of groceries. About 12 years, let's go to 7. Ocala National Forest. This I don't want to speak about. Mike and I walked into somebody's cabin or tent, makeshift weekend vacation place. I don't know what it was, but anyway. And did something I'm just too ashamed to specifically state. Not proud of it. Michael, I did. On my own initiative. If that guy's still alive, it's very what some kids will do. All right. Phil, Michael, and Mom, we were all vacationing in a camper grounds and so forth. This one fishing campground in Florida. We stayed at a couple of days, and there was this, I think it was a largemouth bass that was being kept in a boat, live, trees, I think. And let's see here. I'm gonna try to check my camera. See if this thing will work. Okay. I think Phil knew that the catch the fish. I grabbed Michael or I, we got the fish out of the boat. Don't remember which one, but we took it and said, look what we... Phil, I think, knew that we didn't catch the fish. He took it back. That belonged. Okay. 12 or 13, I stole some fishing lures from Jane Fields in Gainesville, Florida. Snuck out onto the golf course and gained pain. Okay, threw a bottle at a tree, maybe 1 or 2 bottles, 3, 4, maybe. And a telephone pole to see it shatter. Also, I think I used my BB gun and shot a couple of bottles or so. Didn't exactly pick up all the glass after I had shattered the... Okay. When I was in the foster home, I snuck into the garage and stole pies, frozen pies out of the deep freezer. Did that a couple of times. Okay, it's about 12 years old. I hit a friend who was wearing, I thought he was lying to me. I was sure he was lying to me. I did apologize later, and we were friends for a while, but then we moved shortly thereafter. I wasn't able to afford to pay for his class. His mother was not acceptable of that, and took a girl to a drive-in theater. Again, jumped over the fence. I had done this a couple times before. Many times snuck into the drive-in theater, jumping over the fence, and also once I snuck into the R-rated, X-rated part of the theater. Didn't see anything worthwhile, but I did and hoping to thing. Okay, at the campground, 13 or 14 years old, free at a campground to see through the windows of a lady's shower area. Somebody see me doing that. Spoke to it about the part 12 or 13. Karate class. Time for evaluation, testing, training, sparring with others, and so forth. That's true. Some of the older ones, a couple of the older ones were telling me to change my punches, left, right, do the left, do the right instead, in order to make this other guy look bad, or to shock him, or to maybe they thought or something. I don't know, but I did go along with it, with the scheme, and I changed, and I just barely touched the guy's nose. Barely. I mean, barely. No impact at all, just barely. I'm even thinking maybe I didn't, but if I did, it was like touched the hair of his nose. I mean, it's like just wasn't too smart. Sorry about that. If the person watching this. In Lanesville, we were looking at mobile homes. We bought a mobile home from Uncle Roy's in Ocala. And, you know, I had started playing the piano, playing the trombone, but we were needing money for a down payment on the mobile home. So we sold both the piano and my trombone towards the down payment on the mobile home. So that ended my trombone playing. It ended for a little while. Okay. Now Texas, as I'm 19 years old now. I lied once to my boss. He was on one job. I actually messed up a sheet of wallpaper and opened another roll. Baptized Jehovah's Witness. I lied. Okay, very true. One thing I want to say about my relationship and work for him business had a very great impact on me. Of course, he was young, 20 years old, and I was 19. Maybe he was 21. But I always harassed about how slow I was, and so I always felt like I was too slow. You know, beating up myself thereafter for many years. I was too slow, I'm too slow, I'm too slow. You know, and be fast or fast like other people he spoke about in Houston. So, that affected me for many years. I had those back in Michigan before I went down to Corpus Christi. Went up, finished just recently in 1995. Wow, it's getting busy today. 1975, we're very upset about the end not coming in 1975, and the congregation was a mess. And one personally elder in the congregation, Brother Emerson, really gave it to him one day. He put up my expectations, and I thought he should be a better person or something. But anyway, I don't remember all the gist of that, but verbally, just verbally. Right. Grew up in the Bronzeville area of Texas. That's by San Antonio. I drove from Corpus Christi to see. She just wasn't into me as much as I was into her. She played the piano. I loved that. Once we were at the assembly and she went to the bathroom and changed her hair around, she came back and noticed she wasn't too thrilled about that. Okay, let me talk about another very serious situation. It's like borderlines on something almost criminal. Okay, I really liked the New Braunfels, San Marcos area. I traveled there by myself a couple of times. On one trip, my truck broke down. It was going to be in the shop to be repaired. And we decided we'd get a motel room and spend the night together. And she said, well, Hank, it's just, shut eye in my, gave me car keys, and I just sat in her car a while until she got off from work. And then we went to the motel room together. Yeah, she had a change of mind. She didn't get involved, have sex or anything like that. And I was, all to go. I was anxious. For a couple of seconds, just a couple milliseconds, I really persuaded her to not leave. Just for a couple of seconds. It was really, all right. Anyway, okay, so nothing happened. Had a girlfriend named Barbara in Portland, Texas. She had a little boy. We were close to getting married. I was making some good money in my business. Had my truck. Took her and her boy around. Really got attached to her boy. I only wanted a couple too, and I did 5, 6, or 7 children. She wanted a lot of children, so she broke off that relationship. Then there was Rose. I was 19, she was 14. We met at a wedding, and we dated for a while, acceptable to this, and we went to the drive-in one day in their station wagon. It was a very, very good, clean relationship, but I just didn't think it would be exactly the relationship, so I broke it off with Rose. Returned a necklace to the jewelry store that I had bought for somebody. I can't remember who I bought that for. Bought that for Anna Smith or Barbara or for Rose. I don't remember. I spent a lot of time with Jehovah's Witnesses in the ministry. I thought it was very meaningful. Started a couple Bible studies. A lot of Padre Island area, south, Corpus Christi area. I was very jealous, a little bit overzealous. Got into a few heated discussions with some of the complacent older people of the congregation. One congregation that I went to was just really slighting me, and I went to it. Then I visited back to that congregation with some friends, the elders, and people decided, well, we don't lose persons, so let's get responsibilities. Let's talk to him. So I said, Nope, don't think so. I enjoy it now. So, anyway, I stayed with the South congregation. Hey, now it was that my mom back home. She was in Orlando, Florida. I was thinking maybe I should be back in Florida. And I wrote a letter to the Watchtower Society about maybe where I should go in Florida that would be most helpful, where I could pioneer. It's spending a lot of time in the ministry, knocking on doors, talking to people, having Bible studies, and so forth. Yeah, they sent me a letter. Gainesville, Florida was the best place to go, that they needed somebody. They could really use somebody in Gainesville, Florida. So I said, okay, I'll go to Gainesville, Florida. And so I was the mission. They let it be known in some of the congregations, especially the South congregation, that I was leaving them and doing something commendable, going to Florida and serving in a place where the need was greater, in Gainesville, Florida. I did go to Gainesville, and I did try to do something worthy. I didn't pioneer and really did much of anything. Corpus Christi, back to Corpus Christi, Texas. To go back to Christi again, back to Gainesville and back to Corpus Christi. Made a lot of friends in Corpus Christi, Texas. Guess I better read this. It's also where I feel I kind of made the first step into a course of life, a molded development. A lot of good people there, got involved in a lot of activity that was meaningful, that I had been involved for. So, I'm for it though. Alright, that's it for now. The purpose of this is the things that I'm speaking I have been truthful with. You can see my mannerisms, my facial expressions, and my tone of voice, all these particular things about how I speak. Okay, if this is for my children, primarily I want Crystal, Gina, Missouri, you are my children, and you are my children. The government cannot set out my children. This is just wrong what has happened. Bad has happened to many good people. The scriptures are full of people just were killed, and because of their adherence to Christ. Yeshua. People are born in poverty. People are born starving. Million people die each year starving to death. We can remember the in Rwanda a few years ago. Hundreds of thousands of people slaughtered. Did they have a life where they slaughtered because they did something wrong? Did they not have a good life because they did something wrong? There is a very evil cloud over society, a satanic society. Every aspect, almost every aspect of life. There is much crime in government, criminality in the corporations and businesses, so much greed amongst people. People so selfish for their own interest. Sure, Norman Freeze, when they got the opportunity for you to be in their home, for their children, they never contacted me, never. They only took it, never did they contact me. This is a very easy thing to do, to fall in love with children and to take them as your own. It can also be a selfish thing to do. Many adults do this selfishly. Many adults do. By the mannerisms that I speak, one with professional evaluation of this, maybe they can determine what I do. Also, soon I will include things which, in a way, hopefully, to try to fake it as a test. Okay, but none of this will have to do with or my children. The criminality that is in our government, there is no excuse for it, except that so many people's hands are so dirty, nobody wants to expose the other. Everybody's got something on somebody else. But this is allowed to continue in our government. This criminality in our government. The criminality in the Department of Children and Family Services, Child Protection Services, and so forth. Crystal, I love you. Gina, I love you. And as I my children, and I have such a, for so many years, it hurts. All I've asked is that you write me a letter. Write me a letter. Tell me these things that you're being told. Tell me these things that you say that you proof of. You can't have proof of something that really didn't exist and didn't have you to be following this course that is untruth, is false. And this can be proven if there's anybody willing to, or enough investigation put into this. And in this Department of Children and Family Services and in the government, some of this really needs to be eradicated. It really needs that. We know it exists. We know it exists.